Good morning, people of YouTube. So we are back again today with a deck profile / tournament report. So I competed in the Battle for Omni tournament hosted by True Champ Games. So we been advertising this tournament on the channel for a while, and I didn't do as well as I would have liked. I got 19th place, just bubbling out of top 16. My losses were to Red, Omni, Shoutmon / War Greymon shenanigans. I think Red is the worst matchup for Green in this format. And then I lost the last round to Imperial Dramon, which, my opponent played very well. It's just unfortunate. This deck actually bricked in a lot of situations, but I don't think it was the fault of the deck itself. I think I just got unlucky. Because in my playtesting, I've been basically winning all of my locals. I played this deck for 3 locals in a row, and my last locals I got 2nd place, only losing to Yellow-Green Rookie Rush. And again, it was a learning experience because that was my time playtesting against that deck for the first time. So yeah, this deck is overall very consistent, has the best matchup against Lordknightmon out of any deck in the format, I feel. This deck every yellow deck I played in the tournament, I just kind of beat. Or in any deck that had yellow, I just kind of beat. Even if you had a yellow engine. This deck just has the tools to get around it. Nidhogg is a broken card, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and get into the deck list. I got 4 copies of Yokomon. New Best Egg makes your cards bigger whenever it's detached. It's just a very, very good buff. The last Digi-Egg is Budmon. This card never came up today. Could have been anything. Yoko came up all day. This card did not. But you need 5 eggs because you play Mimi. So, on to the rookies. I play a single copy of Tentomon because it is good to hard play and get a search. I play 3 copies of Terriermon Assistant because I feel like this card is better than Tentomon. Just because you have the Mimis, if you have an ultimate on board and you start your turn, you hatch the egg, you evolve into Terriermon Assistant, you use the Mimi, you pull this out, you Digiburst, you get to just basically +2 because you draw off evolving this, and then you're gonna draw again off of this card. And then you can start your plays there. Plus, this will trigger Rafflesia's effect. So, this card is just really, really good. And I wouldn't play any less than 3 of it in any green deck moving forward. I see a lot of people not running Terriermon Assistant, but still running 4 Rafflesiamon. And I think that is the absolute wrong decision. You should be playing this card if you're playing this kind of deck. I play 2 regular Terriermon because it shuts out Lilithloop and it shuts out Imperial Dramon. I actually dropped this card with Argomon's effect. Or no, I evolved it in the raising area and then used Mimi to pull it out. And then went to swing out for game against the Lilithloop player. And he did have Jack Raidens as security, but Terriermon blocked it, winning me the match. So, came in clutch all day, but in that match specifically. I have 2 copies of the Palmon that gives you power when you attack a Digimon, because it lets Lilamon hit over things whenever you suspend them, which is very, very crucial. It also lets Piximon hit over things, like if you Rafflesiamon and then have this card under Pixie swings for 12, so that's just really nice. I have 3 copies of the Digiburst Jamming Palmon. I was playing 4, felt like it wasn't necessary. I'm honestly considering cutting 1 more of these and 1 of the Lalas for 2 copies of Gobblemon. I'm playing 3 Lalas as the final rookie in the deck, and I played no Gobblemons or any of the 2-drop Argomons, just because I felt like this is a raising area meta, and so if I'm playing a Digimon from my hand, I want it to do something. So either evolving up in the chain and getting me more value by getting a Digiburst effect or a neat inheritable, or I would just hard play Terriermon in some matchups. But Palmon is also really good at giving your rookies jamming. You Digiburst and you wouldn't give jamming to your big dude. You'd give it to a level 5 so you could swing with it and make sure that it lives through the security check. And then I didn't max out Lalamon because I feel like if you see one, you've seen them all. And I felt like that was the right decision. I would honestly go... I think moving forward, I would cut these two for the two Gobbly and make that my rookie lineup moving forward. But honestly, the rookies did very well for me today. Really, yeah, my deck only lost to red because I don't have a decent enough answer to the Blitz Omnimon because you can't Nidhogg it away. And that's just kind of unfortunate. But I think Rafflesiamon is definitely a good answer to it, or if you just can out-tempo it with some of your other green cards. But moving into the level 4s, we got 4 copies of Weedmon, 4 copies of Vegemon, and 4 copies of Kabuterimon. This is just an easy level 4 lineup. Weedmon is now the best level 4 in the deck. Vegemon gets around Shoutmon and like opposing Nidhogg and cards like that. I see a lot of people cutting this card, and seeing as how hard this deck loses to Shoutmon, I feel like you need to play 4 copies of Veggie. I feel like that is an absolute mandatory decision. And I am playing 13 level 4s. I'm playing a single copy of Togemon to round out the level 4 count. And the reason Togemon is in here is it's a slight consistency booster. This deck loses if it cannot build its stacks. So, if you are in a position where you are missing a key piece, you can evolve into this, draw your card, and then use the effect and potentially unbrick yourself. Slight consistency boosters in a deck where your only problem is maintaining consistency they're very important. Like, you could play Wormmon in this deck too, and it wouldn't be a bad decision, because you'd be able to like reveal cards and add more cards. I just wouldn't right now because of the 1k power. But Togemon did come in clutch today. Like, I did grab Rafflesia, Nidhogg, even a Chaosmon once off of it, so I really do like it. And, you know, just as a one-of tech, it came up when it needed to. This deck draws a lot of cards, so sometimes if you're not drawing the right ones, though, you'll be glad you have this. So those are the level 4s, on to the level 5s. I got 1 Argo and 3 Blosso as my download package. I didn't feel like I needed to max out Blossomon. You can if you want to, but I always had one when I needed it. I would much rather have the extra body in the other level 5 lineups than play a 4th Blossomon. So the other level 5s, I got 3 copies of Lila. She's absolutely nuts. Like, Lila came up all day, just suspend something, swing over it, or suspend something and then evolve into Nidhogg on another stack, and then just blow it away. Like, Lila's amazing. I don't play any less than 3 in this style of deck. And that's all I have to say about that. The last level 5s, I got a single copy of Cherrymon. This card did a lot of work in the Imperial Dramon matchup, but I just kind of bricked in one of the games and couldn't come back in the second game because he went too hard. So, Cherrymon did help, but, you know, I lost anyway. But it's a great card. And I played 2 Piximon to round out the 2 cost to evolve into level 5s. I feel like these are important. Like, I like this ratio of level 5s. I play 10 of them so that I can see them more often. And that might seem high, but there were still games that I lost because I couldn't draw a level 5. So, in the situations where you're building up in raising area, these 2 cost to evolve intos are very important. Plus the fact that Piximon can just get really big with Rafflesiamon's buffs is very nice. I really do like this card, and if you aren't playing it in your green list, I highly recommend you try it out. But, yeah, those are the level 5s. They did their job whenever they showed up. And, so we'll go ahead and go right into level 6s. I play 4 copies of Nidhoggmon because this is what beats Lordknightmon. Lordknightmon goes, I need to swing in order to get my effect off. And if they swing, and you have your stack and raising area, you just go, kaboom. And then their whole board goes away. Except if they, like, drop a Nightmon, that won't go away. But, like, that doesn't matter. Like, this card is so good. You just blow out entire boards. I wouldn't play any less than 4, just because of Lordknightmon and its place in the meta. This is what's going to beat that. This is what's going to beat Rookie Rush. This is what's going to beat Imperial. This is the ultimate tech, and in like other decks that are just like Imperial, like the Imperial player used this against me, and I was like, damn, that's really good. He put my Nidhogg down to the bottom, and I was going to use it to Chaosmon on the next turn. So it came in clutch, both for me and against me, but I wouldn't play any less than 4 copies of Nidhoggmon in my green list. Moving right along, I have a single copy of Grand Kuwagamon. It didn't really do much today, but mainly only because there was 1 in the list, so I didn't really draw it in key moments. But the Rafflesiamon came up all day. I don't know if I would want to play 4 Rafflesia over the Grand Kuwaga. I do like the option to kind of Digiburst and just clear out a stack, but Rafflesiamon stops the things that Nidhogg cannot. Like, Nidhogg doesn't take care of the Blitz Omnimon. Rafflesiamon can kind of lock it out, especially if you can have Rafflesiamon, Mimi, and a bunch of Terriermon assistants in hand. That gets nuts. Rafflesiamon can stop Zwart from attacking, it can stop Lordknightmon from attacking, and make sure that it can't get its effect off. Like, a lot of things in this game right now need to attack to maintain momentum, and Rafflesia is the ultimate momentum breaker. I absolutely love this card, and Nidhogg as well. Like, these two combined with each other are just perfect in every way. And they won me all of my games that I won. Like, I went X3 in the tournament today, and I beat every yellow player I saw, every purple player I saw. Again, just losing to red twice and the Imperial Dramon matchup, and it wasn't this deck's fault at all. Like, but yeah, that's the level 6s. On to the rest of the deck. I got a single copy of Chaosmon. This needs to be the other Chaosmon, the Valderarm. In my playtesting, this came up a couple times with the Grand Kuwaga, and it's nice. However, the Valderarm is probably the best way to deal with the things that this deck can't deal with, like the Blitz Omnimon and a couple other problematic cards. So in the future, moving forward, this is going to be replaced with a Valderarm, but for the tournament, this is what I played. And it never really came up, but there were a couple games where I liked having it in my hand as the option for removal. But this deck really doesn't need level 7s, and ultimately they're going to brick in your hand if you play too many of them. So I elected to only play 1 level 7 in the deck, and I feel like that was the right decision. I just wish I played the other level 7 instead as my one-of. But moving right along, got a couple more one-ofs. I got a one-of Needle Spray and a one-of HPD. Obviously, I'd play more HPD if I could, but alas, I cannot. And then the one Needle Spray came in clutch all day. You just go, I get left to 3 memory because of Mimi, and alright, well, I promote my stack, download Needle Spray your board, and then, or Needle Spray the problem card that they have out, and then Nidhogg it away. Like, it's just really good. So, I wouldn't cut the one of Needle Spray, but you could also play, you can't actually fly in this slot, because it will punish your opponent and kind of dwindle their security, because every deck is playing a level 7 now. It's something that me and my teammate Ari were talking about, but I elected to play this in the tournament today in case it came up in security, but I never hit it in security, and there were a couple times that you can't actually fly would have actually burned a security on my opponent's side of the board, so I feel like that would have actually been the better tech card for today. But yeah, and then the last 2 cards in the deck are the 2 of Mimi's. Like, Mimi is good. Mimi just gets you extra aggression. Mimi's also, like, serves a really good purpose with the Terriermon Assistant being able to pull it out and stun something with Rafflesiamon's effect. You can also use Mimi to pull out your level 5 stack, since this format is basically a big game of chicken, right? You can pull out your stack in the raising area, evolve it up into an ultimate, and then use Mimi to hatch another egg and then build another stack in the raising area. So that way you are never losing tempo. If your opponent deals with your board somehow, you will always be in a position to just Nidhogg them back. So I wouldn't play any less than 2 Mimi. And I'd even consider going up to 3, because there were still some games that I didn't see it early enough. And had I seen it early enough, it might have swung tempo more in my favor. But yeah, no, that's the deck. I absolutely love it. Green is probably one of the strongest decks in the entire format. And again, if you're going into a tournament and you're expecting to see Lordknightmon, and you're expecting to see yellow-green Rookie Rush, and you're expecting to see all these high offense, just fast tempo decks, this is the best deck to play. Because it stops them from doing anything, and it just punishes them for doing what they try to do just by swinging into you. They have to fear Nidhogg all the time, and so they have to run all of their bodies into your security preemptively, which either causes them to die, and if that happens, you just Grand Kawaga or Rafflesia on them, and then stun the rest, and if they don't die, then you just Nidhogg them, and then they all go to the bottom of their deck. Also against purple, I want to point out that against the Lilithloop player, I put his Chimeramons on the bottom of his deck whenever they were suspended, so that he couldn't pull them back with Future's Warts. So this card puts key combo pieces in that deck to a place where they are unattainable for the rest of the match. But yeah, that's my deck profile and tournament report. Again, I went X3 getting 19th place, so technically top 32, but bubbled out of top 16, and I think that's what that's where the prizing started. So little salty about that, but not much you can do. Just chalk it up and prepare for the next tournament. So again, I beat Lordknightmon, I beat Rookie Rush, I beat... trying to remember my rounds. I lost 3. I lost to Greymon Tribal, Shoutmon, and the Imperial. Oh, I beat Blue, I beat Lilithloop. Then there's one other round. Oh, I beat a Green Mirror match, that's what it was. But yeah, that was my tournament report. And I've also played a lot of locals with this game, and I've won my locals with that as well, but you're asking me to remember too far back if you want what games I played there. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Leave your comments down below what you guys thought. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you all so much for 500 subs. Really means a lot. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.